there sometimes.
They're never going to put us on there.
Oh, come on.
Can I ask you about that, CB? I'm curious because I tried to watch an episode of that. And how did that platform start of them inviting all those girls on and have sort of conversations that, in my opinion, aren't really that valuable? And they don't really
It depends.
Anything.
Well, it depends. There's a few different, like, there's reasons why you would watch and why you wouldn't, right? It's not like you're trying to, like, well, some people get the idea like they're just goggling at the girls, right? I don't go and watch the show for that reason, but like, well, you know, I don't want to go too deep into it, but there's this idea that all waltz, AWALT, all women are like that. Some people would agree, some people wouldn't. But you go and watch the show, and there's been like almost 3,000 girls on the show, right? And you start to hear their mentalities. It's just like when we have Globers come on, right? It's like you study all these. No. So,
okay.
No,
because the episode
people get this idea.
All the girls were strippers or had OnlyFans pages. They're all basically
a lot of them are, but it's not all of them for sure. Like there's girls that go on there that are from Ohio, just regular girls. Some girls that are lawyers, girls that are in school, students, young girls, master's degrees. They don't just bring on the idea. There's this misconception. There's a lot of misconceptions. Just like if you're on the outside looking into flat earth, there's tons of misconceptions. Oh, they must think it's a disc. Those guys are idiots. Oh, they're dumber than kindergartners. You have to be careful about like judging from the outside. You kind of have to go in and kind of review inside. And so from my understanding, it's just studying, because you might think, oh, you know, no, this girl, she's different. But like you start to look at some of the pillars, the core similarities between people, and you start to notice what those things are. And so watching the show can help you reveal some of those core pillars that, you know, make women tick, or guys too. So I don't necessarily watch it for that element. I'm more watching the show to study how to ask good questions, how to ask follow-up questions, how to study people and like listen to their answers, how to form rebuttals. You know, we talk about the mind virus here, and I think a lot of those people have mind virus as well. So it's not just like women, you know, all people in general can be victims to this mind virus. So I use it as like a bit of a case study
to help people, men and women, kind of communicate and learn more about each other. Is that kind of what
Absolutely. I think that's a good way to put it. And like, well, it seems to be really popular right now, this idea of like, you know, dating, red pill, this type of stuff seems to be kind of trending at the moment. So it's got a lot of people's attention. But yeah, there is this idea like, oh, it's just clips, it's just hookers, OnlyFans. Like, that's not necessarily true. Just like people could say, oh, flat earthers are all hillbillies or all this, that, and the other. That's obviously not true.
Well, so, it might be, CB. Who knows?
I'm not a hillbilly.
CB. You know the reason Paul and I question these babes on this Fresh and Fit is because Paul and I are very deep individuals, and we look past the skin of people. We enjoy a woman's mind.
Well, I mean, yes, that is true, but I am still. I'm still drawn to the flesh, man. That's the first thing you see and notice, right? I mean, I'm a sinner, man. I'm lustful. I see women and, you know, I'm human.
You don't have to tell us that you don't want to, Paul.
But at the end of the day, what I really want to be with is somebody's mind in who they are on the inside.
And so that's the strength of the show. Is it's not they're just sitting there quiet. They're revealing their mindset, and that's what's really helpful. I mean, half the girls on the panel last night, I didn't find half of them attractive. Maybe one of them, perhaps. But again, it's the mindset. She can be pretty, but if she starts opening her mouth and says, you know, crazy things, it's like, oh, well, pass. But,
you know, we've probably all been in a situation where we've been out in a bar setting or somewhere and we see an attractive woman and we go up to talk to her and she has the worst attitude of any human you've ever met, and it's a total turnoff, and you're no longer even attracted to her physical appearance.
Right, and so another thing is like watching the show is like, well, why do they have that attitude? It'll help you understand why they have that attitude to begin with, and stuff like that. So it's a huge case study on people in general, not just the girls. They also do the day show as well, where there are no girls on there too. So
I think we should do an episode on Flat Earth Discord 24/7.
if you're single, whether you're a guy or a girl, would you date a Glober? That would be
I've actually presented that idea before. Fresh and flat is what I called it. Fresh and flat.
Fresh and
And
flat.
we come on here and talk about like, would you date a Glober? Would you date a flat earther? Would you, date someone that, those type of questions could be really fun. I think so. Maybe pull up my
That's a
notes.
great
Actually,
idea. That would be fun.
We should do that.
I actually have some questions that I did write down.
I would date a Glober as long as they were open to hearing about the actual globe and learning that I could deal with. But I don't think I could deal with somebody that when they're shown the truth, refuse to accept it. I don't think I could deal with that.
Okay, Paul, could you marry a Glober?
Well, I mean, we're all Globers, right? We all believed in it at one point in time. So
Okay.
if I'm with a woman that long and she is going to remain a Glober, no, I don't think I want to marry her, honestly.
Okay. Well, cool.
Well, you have to make sure
question is,
you have to make sure they're not married to the system.
there you go, Sonny. Based. The question is like, would you rather? I think a better question is like, would you rather be with a crazy flat Earth chick or just a normal, regular, globe believing girl? Honestly, dude,
Okay,
I think I might take the normal girl.
As long as when we have children, she allows me to teach them flat Earth and doesn't derail that learning process, I could deal with it, I think.
Okay,
Well, that leads up to another question: is like, is it a deal breaker for you?
CB, you said a crazy whatever flat Earth girl. Is that
Yeah,
are you the one who said no?
absolutely crazy.
How
flat
would
Earth
you
chick.
define a crazy, insane flat Earth girl?
Oh, come on! You know what a crazy girl's like. Come on.
Okay, I might take the crazy flat Earth girl. We could stay at home and try to wait a minute. We could stay at home and try to match crazy.
I think I'd rather have just a normal, regular girl, man. Not gonna lie.
Well,
I don't
but
want
there's
the crazy
different
chick.
types of crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Oh my goodness. I shouldn't tell the story, but I will. I had 8-10 years ago. I had a really great couple friend. My daughter played volleyball with their daughter, and she was black and he was white, and beautiful people. Back at the time, I thought politics mattered, so they were both really big conservatives. Even their daughter was conservative, and she was black and he was white. And we were sitting in Chicago at a tournament, and I asked him because I asked him if you would have found out, and the woman was black, and they say like 95% of women are liberal, but she was conservative, and they're both conservative. And I said, hey, I won't say his first name. I said, if you would have found out that this lovely lady was a liberal after you met her, what would you have done? And he said, I would have hit it and quit it. I will always remember that. It was the funniest thing ever. And she was sitting right there, with him, and she literally slapped him on the arm and just started cracking up. And it's just like, I'll always remember that. So anyway, that was you had to be in the situation. That was very funny.
That's funny. Yeah, like, is it a deal breaker? There's would her being like staunch globe or anti-flat Earth, would that be a deal breaker? Same thing, like if she's like juiced up, would that be a deal breaker for you as well?
Well, but I think that if she is anti-flat Earth, she will not date you to begin with.
I know that'd probably be a bad mix. I think if she's totally anti-flat Earth, that's like, yeah, they're all probably not good together, regardless of compatibility.
Well, unless you
with
hide
her.
it.
You couldn't have any good conversation with her.
Oh, you couldn't.
Well, you could.
Hey, Paul, CB, everybody. Could you imagine being in the long distance observations over water, and like you can in LA or like you can here in Michigan City or whatever, and saying, "Hey, honey, you want to go to the beach, but I got to take my camera with me and a tripod because we're going to look across at Lake Michigan." Chicago, and she's a Glover, and you're gonna stick. And you're there making a point that she's wrong.
I know. Hold on, honey. We're going to make a flat Earth observation right here.
Yeah, just sit here at the park bench and be nice while I do it.
Oh, wait a second. I'll be right back. Or come on with me. Come on with me. Yeah. No, down to the beach. You know. Oh, you don't want to go.
I mean,
You don't wanna-
I'm just thinking about this right now, and my fiance, she accepts flat Earth, and she believes it, but she hasn't really done the work to just not believe it, but to, really experience it for herself. She's just accepted that because she's always been, she's always known that the government lies about everything. So when I put the flat Earth to her, she accepted it right away, but she's really not that interested in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to be honest, the shape of the Earth, to me at least, doesn't really matter. It's more what you said, like being skeptic of what they tell you and the truth you think. Like, what do you consider the truth,
Well, yeah, but it's weird sometimes because I want to talk to her about stuff like some of the stuff we talk about in here, but I see that she's not really engaged that much in the conversation, and she's not that interested in it as I am. And sometimes it's not enough to make me not want to be with her, but I wish she was more sort of curious in the topic and more excited about that knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
Because I do sort of feel alone in our relationship when it comes to having children, that all that is going to be my total responsibility. I guess, no, that's not true. She will help, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe I'm making a big deal. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have my list here, but some of these are good questions, and it would be fun. I've thought about doing like a ladies' night 2.0 where we have like a similar style panel, flat Earth girls on here, or just girls in general, and we kind of ask them more like flat Earth related type stuff and dating / flat Earth. Could be really fun. Just whenever the girls are done with their summer, whenever the girls are done with their hot girl summer and want to come back and do a freaking ladies' night, that'd be really fun.
It seems like the majority of women out there don't really think about these topics when they're selecting a partner. Do you guys think that's true?
Well, yeah, the pillars are often other things, right? You got to have your status up, or your looks up, or your finances up. Your networking has to be up. Those are the key things, and then the other things follow after, right? So you might hear girls say like, "Oh, I know, I go for personality." It's like, well, that only is true if he checks those other boxes. You know what I mean? So you're not just gonna go for some loser's personality just because it's a great personality. So, and that's what shows like this can help you understand. It's like, well, what are they really after, and what can you bring to the table to if you want a happy relationship and stuff like that. So. Yeah, we should we should definitely do like a flat Earth version eventually. It'd be really fun.
I don't know how to do any of that, so if you guys start doing it and you need something from me and I can help in any way, let me know, dude. I'll be happy to help.
Hey, Paul.
We just need the girls.
Hey, Paul, with your current lady friend, how long had you known her before you dropped the bomb that we didn't live on a spinning space ball?
Probably 3 months, I think. I think it was like the 3-month period I brought it up.
And how'd she take that?
She was very receptive to it.
Cool.
And she,
Cool.
she didn't bat an eye really. She actually just kind of was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I totally believe that. They absolutely would lie about that. And they lie about everything. So yeah, I'm not surprised. But she didn't she just took my word for it. She didn't actually really experience it for herself to know it and not just believe it because I said it.
She didn't come into 24/7 Flowers Discord and find.
No, she's too shy, dude. She's sometimes listening. She's sometimes listening, and I've tried to get her to speak sometimes, but she's super shy.
Well,
she's uncomfortable.
Tell your lady friend CB's really easy to talk to. Come in and talk to him.
Hey, maybe.
I think a lot of women inherently just kind of know what the earth is. They may be waiting for their husband or boyfriend or men they know to kind of come around, but no matter how much they might already know this inherently, it's not something they're really willing to talk about. They just don't want to talk about it. It doesn't really apply to their local area, but they know. They pretty much, I think, inherently know more about it.
Well, for her thing is she's intimidated by the subject because she doesn't know that much and doesn't have a strong background in education. So she's just scared of the topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's across the board. Well, not across the board, but I think a majority of women probably fit into that kind of area. It's kind of like this. Like a group of women don't usually engage in dope smoking or smoking weed as a sport like guys do. They just not, that's not their style, but it is ours. If you know what I'm saying, getting around, talking, smoking, having a beer, like whatever. Smoking a joint, having a beer, just regular thing. Guys do that. I'm not saying that all guys do that. If you don't do that, no big deal. If you do, whatever. Yeah, try not to harm yourself. But women don't engage like that mostly. Like